Hello my lovelies, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another episode of African Men in Europe. The last video I did, I have a little bit of conversations in the comments about submission from the African woman to the African man. So this video, this particular topic of submission is very sensitive. I'm going to go with it from both sides, the man's perspective and the woman's perspective, and how they can both come together to work as well. Welcome to my channel, and please don't forget to subscribe. So when you talk about submission, there are a lot of angles, there are a lot of perspectives, there are a lot of areas that comes to mind. And sometimes the African man, I'm an African born and bred in Sierra Leone, West Africa. So I know a little bit about the African culture and our grandmothers, our mothers, our aunties, what they, what they were saying when you are young, when you eventually get married. You have to be submissive to your husband. You have to do this, you have to do that. Like my country, Sierra Leone, your submission does not only end with your husband. My grandmother used to say, when a woman gets married, you get married to that man and everybody around him, meaning his family, his friends, his extended family, like you have to give them the respect that you are giving your husband. You have to be submitted to them. You have to do, all those little things, like all these responsibilities our parents, our grandparents, they pass on to us on how to be as an African woman in a home with your husband. I know it's a very large topic to cover, and it's very critical to be able to, go through all of these things. Those days, it was not a big deal because our grandfathers, they used to be, play their own parts. It's very crazy because those days we have polygamy on the highest, it was on the rampage. There is no grandfather that would have one wife or have a child from all of, one woman. My grandfather, for example, has 2 wives, my grandmother and a co-wife. And together, my grandmother has 6 kids. For the others, I don't know. I think it's 4 or 5, my other grandmother. But for my grandmother's side, she gave birth to 6 children, 3 boys and 3 girls. My father is the eldest. So those times to now, they are quite different. Because I used to ask my grandmother sometimes, my mother died when I was young. My mother died in 2001. It has been over 20 years now that she passed on. May I still continue to rest in perfect peace. So my grandmother raised me. There are a lot of things that I asked her sometimes. And there are a lot of things also we talked about being a woman. And I would say my grandmother is one of the most intelligent people that I've ever come across in the journey, in my journey of life. She's not educated, but sometimes she always say, common sense in past book sense. That is in my local dialect, Creole. Sometimes being intelligent or being wise is not something you expect from people that go to school. And she was a perfect example of that Proverbs. Because she was not educated. She knew a little bit of how to spell her name and all those little things. But when it comes to about, going to school, college and everything, she not have that education. With those days, a young lady gets going up and got married and starts having kids. But she has so much wisdom. I think that I asked her, like, don't you feel bad? Like, this woman, your husband has this other woman in his life. And she was like, yeah, they split it like 3 days. And we all work together as a family. That is the highest form of submission I've ever have to witness, for my grandmothers and great-great-grandmothers and how they used to cope. But she always said that our grandfather was not partial. He makes sure he cater for their needs and treat them right. So, in other words, if you treat a woman right, you cater for her needs, you give her the respect and love that she deserves. Trust me, you don't need to bug your head to tell her to do something without saying something else. But these days, our generation, our brothers, I don't hate you guys, I'm just saying things here, to keep us ladies on the safer path. What to expect. Be positive and be negative to avoid mental health breakdown. These days, men don't do so much. when a woman start dating a man, in the beginning, that is what I don't get also. When a man wants to have a relationship with a woman, any kind of relationship whatsoever, I'm from Sierra Leone, like I can always say in my videos. I come from a country in Africa where if you start having a relationship or past that, you pass that physical stage with a man, trust me, that is a relationship. Unless if you're a hooker, then we know. But ever since I come to this country in France, you see people having everything that normal relationship people have, yet still it is not yet relationship until a couple of months before they will say it's official, or both of them just ghost each other. That's the end of it. Why are things happening in this part of the world like that? I don't know. I'm still trying to wrap my mind around that area. How can you be having a physical connection with someone? You guys are hanging out, you're talking on the phone, but you are not in a relationship. You are just having time and see how far this thing will go. It's like a situationship, like they say. That is crazy, but that is just the Western man's world. And with us Africans coming here, recently, we are trying our best to wrap our minds and see how we are going to rumble our heads around that situation. But that is by the way. When a man wants to get a woman, they will go all out. They will call frequently. They will message frequently. They always want to see you. They always want to spend time with you. And the woman will be, excited. Women, we are very emotional. We get easily attached and all that kind of stuff. Why we are like that, I don't know. That is just the way it is. That time, the woman will be doing everything nice. You can say to her, women we have the strongest emotions and faces to put up. A woman can love a man to death and still pretend like she feels nothing for you. Not because along the way she has stopped loving you, but maybe along the way you stop doing the things that make her fall in love with you in the first place. And once a woman's expectations get lower down, the way she reacts to you also changes. That's time men complain when we start dating, oh, she was faithful, she was obedient, she do what I say, because you were also doing the things that she likes. Sometimes people say, why don't you tell this person that, is changing? Sometimes some men can be understanding. You guys can talk like, oh, when we started out, things were going fine. We're always talking, what is happening? Some men will be cautious enough and take a break and start all over again and start doing the things that will make you happy. But some men will make excuses upon excuses upon excuses, saying you nag too much, you complain too much, you are always angry, and then that woman will just keep quiet. So to avoid being called a nag or avoid being called attentions, you love attention or you are too needy, women tend to keep quiet and also change their submission and loyalty and love towards you. So as an African man, you have the mentality of a woman being faithful to you, doing what you want, because that is what our ancestors passed on from generations to generations. You forget that in order to get submission, you have to treat that woman like a queen. Our ancestors were doing that right. But now when it comes to you guys, you want the old ways, the submission, the love, the support, the care, the attention from a woman, but you don't want to do anything in return. Sorry. You can go a whole day without talking to your woman, and then you'll be fine with it. Then you expect to call her 2 or 3 days later and then ask her to do something or ask her to say something. And then when she eventually says no, all hell will get loose. You tend to get a little bit selfish. It should not be that way. The fact that you're an African does not mean every woman should bow at your feet. I know this thing is not only for Africans, yeah, but this is like an African man in Europe or overseas. So when it comes to the whites, I have that playlist also, but basically for French men. So now let's dive into African and the African nation of craziness. In the beginning, you were all that. What makes you change? Some men think like, after they have that physical connection with you guys have, you have sex, that is enough. You are now okay, you now got what you wanted, so you want to walk away. In order to do that respectfully, you want to now twist everything to make that woman look bad. Instead of you to just be honest and said, okay, I just wanted sex, now I have the sex, I'm going to walk away. You start twisting things, make her look crazy, make her to be losing her mind, complaining and nagging, and then you'll be saying, oh, she's not submissive, oh, she does not listen to what I say, oh, she argued with me, she do this and do that. If you treat a woman right, the things you are talking about, submission and obedience, they will come from the, from the act of love. She will not even look at it as if, this man is giving me orders, or he's ordering me around, or he's telling me what to do and what not to do. When you love a woman and treat her right, submission, love, support, care, it comes naturally on a platter. So if you want submission from your woman, if you guys are falling apart for like a week or two, there have been constant fights, this is an opportunity for you. If you still love that woman, you want to have a life with her, ask her out on a date. If you guys are living together, you don't want to go out due to COVID or due to the weather, sit her down. You can prepare a meal or you can order food. You guys have a little date. Talk things over. Ask her what she likes you to do. We are never too old to learn. You can be in a relationship with someone for over 20 years, but you will learn something new about them every second of your life. If things are falling apart, the woman you are dating is no longer that submissive to you or doing things that you like. Sit her down and try to find out what changed. And for us females also, I know we don't like to complain because sometimes it seems like we nag or we are too needy or we are too clingy, and no woman wants to be like that. If your man is acting up and you still want that relationship to work, trust me, I'm not the kind of woman that gives up easily on a relationship. If I'm in a relationship with someone and the person said we are finally broken up, she does not want to talk to me again or she's no longer interested, trust me, I tried 199 times, even more, to make that relationship work. Women are not easy to give up. A man can be out of love or out of that relationship. That woman will still be fighting to get that relationship working. That is just who we are. We don't give up easily. A man can do cheats, lies, say whatever things. As long as we are emotionally tied to them, sometimes we still work, we still fight to make that relationship work. I see some videos online, sometimes people talking about, all this abusive relationship and how death eventually take that woman out. People will say, why didn't she walk away? And then testimonies from friends and the families will say, she was trying to make the relationship work. She kept saying it would change. That is women. That is who we are. Even though the way that men are treating us these days is making us to becoming, we are now becoming a little bit cold. If a man said he's not interested, we'll give him 1 week. After 1 week, if he's still messing up, we leave him alone. Sometimes, not that, we are falling out of love with you guys. No. But we expect you to know that we also have emotions. We also have feelings. We are not some bunch of machines or some robots. And if our needs, our emotional needs are not being cared for, we are going to walk away no matter how much we loved you. So if you know you're a woman, you are not ready to walk away, you are still interested in this man, give him 1 week. Try talking to him and see if he's going to change. If not, then you can walk away. But for all the men, submission is not something that just comes. You earn it from your woman. There are things that you do. Sometimes some men think being verbally abusive is the worst thing that they can do to a woman. That is the reaction that if a woman is being bad, okay, maybe they'll say, okay, maybe I curse her or do this or do that. No. That emotional neglect, the way you used to treat that woman from the beginning, you start changing. The calls were frequent. All of a sudden, there are no calls anymore. You are rejecting her emotionally. You are neglecting her emotional needs. That long, lengthy conversations, they start reducing to hi, hello, good morning, how was your day, bye, have a great day, have a great day, nothing more. Emotional neglect. That is how she will continue slipping away from you until it gets to a point that she'll be like, I want this, I want this. She'll be like, oh no, I can't do that. Because if you can't cater for her emotionally and give her the support that she needs, how on earth do you think that she's going to do what will make you happy? Like I said, this is not our grandmother's generation. Some of us might still have that mindset that, okay, when I eventually get married, I'm going to do this and that to my husband. But if we are dating, that is a whole different thing. And like I said earlier, in this part of the world, people are in situationship and relationship, living together without marriage and all that kind of stuff. So here, I'm not even thinking about every couple have been married before they start living in together. But no matter what the case is, don't neglect your woman's emotional needs and the support. Sometimes some men can be a little bit naive. A woman can be communicating something very important. They're not even paying attention. A woman can be entering a project. Oh, I want to learn how to drive. Oh, I'm trying to get this job. Oh, I'm trying to achieve this kind of career, enter this kind of path and get this career. You will tell your man like this, something like this, a week or two. Then they will never, some men will never ask. Like after 2 weeks or so, oh, last week, I remember 2 weeks back, you told me about that project you wanted to do or that thing that you want to get. How far? What has become of your plans? What are you up to? Are you there yet? Those little details shows that you are listening. When you treat a woman right, submission comes naturally. You may say certain things, you think it's okay. It's enough. But sometimes your enough is not enough. Women are not crazy. Women are not out of their mind. You just have to listen and pay attention to her needs. Emotionally, physically, financially, spiritually, all the alleys. Support your woman. Love and cherish her and give her the respect that she deserves. And see if she will not be submissive or obedient to you. But if you're not doing any of those things and you think she's going to be submissive to you, the only woman that can do that will be your mother, not someone else's daughter. Stay blessed, my lovelies, and thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share this video, and I will see you all next Sunday. Have a blissful week ahead, and never forget to treat your woman right if you want her to be submissive. To all my amazing brothers and amazing men around the world, get your act together.